Welcome to this amazing interview that I have with my client Tracy Farkas here from Minneapolis. Tracy, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm so excited to talk to you. And I know it's going to help so many agents because what you're doing is really so inspiring. So, Tracy, you've been in real estate for 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, or maybe a year and a half ago, something like that, you joined Sales X training, and
Mm-hmm.
then you stopped, you canceled, you spent some time working with a builder, and you came back to Sales X maybe 2 months, 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
February. Yep.
February, and we're recording this in May. So yeah, let's say 3 months. So
Yeah.
first, I want to get a little bit of your background and what happened with the builder and what were you doing before you joined. But in the last couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
you're on fire, girl. So you took 4 listings in the month of April,
Yep.
and we're in the middle of May, and you've taken two in May. So you're tracking since the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
April, one listing a week. Yes.
Yes.
And you weren't really doing that before you rejoined. So
Mm.
explain, tell the viewers, how are you making this happen?
Right. Well, it is very exciting, Jackie, and I'm just so grateful that I found you and that, your tools are incredible. They really are. Before I ever found you, I was selling real estate on my own. I actually have my broker's license. I had my own brokerage,
Mhm.
and I was literally just going off of friends and family, and, all of that started to dry up. And, everybody has bought, and I'm sending out all these mailers, spending all this money on Facebook ads and everything, and none of it, I'm sending calendars every year, and it literally just wasn't paying off, right? And so I just started searching and going on YouTube and different things like that, and that's how I found you.
Mhm.
And I had heard about you from another agent who swore you were amazing. And then I'm like, okay, I got to find this Jackie. And then I got on and I just fell in love with all of this. But the problem was I was interviewing with builders
Right.
when I did it last time, and I had like 4 or 5 listings, and I should have just stayed put. But I
Mhm.
got an offer from a builder, and I thought the grass was greener, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not.
Mhm. Mhm.
If
Mhm.
anybody's thinking about it, it's not. Um,
Okay.
but I went out there. I did incredibly well. I took a lot of your tools with me, your voices in my head all the time, and did well. But it felt very limiting for me. I could only sell in one little community. I couldn't sell in any other communities or anything. And I was just like, I don't want to wait 8 months to get paid while I'm building a home for someone, which is
Right.
exactly what was happening. So I got back into this,
So three
and
months ago, you left the builder
yes.
and you rejoined Sales X training. And okay, so then take us from there.
So what happened there was I joined in February,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wasn't plugged in, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were traveling, we were getting out of here for the winter, and I was setting up my office because now I office from home,
Right.
letting that take way too long, right? And doing all this other busy work, right? That wasn't getting me any deals. And
Mhm.
so I finally decided I better get serious at the beginning of April.
Mhm.
And I was trying to get all my technology going and everything for my dialer. And so I finally got that going, got my office organized. We just came back from vacation, and I'm like, I got to get going. And then I found a role play partner.
Mhm.
And the thing that went through my head was,
And he's one of Sales X member. I
yes,
remember, yeah,
yes,
you mentioned his name. Yes.
yes. And we motivate each other, and he's way further along than I am, which is great. It's great to have a role play partner that's doing way more amazing things than you are, because then it
Mhm.
brings you up, right?
Yes.
And so And I just started, you said, listen to all of this stuff massively. And what I love is that I can listen to you day or night, because of all of your stuff out there. So I will literally go to bed at like 10 a lot of times, and I'll just sit and listen to you for a half an hour or whatever. And then in the mornings
Like a
before I start my
lullaby.
day,
Go to sleep now. You're funny.
I know, right?
Yeah. I
And
remember you mentioned to me too that what I guess sort of gave you a push in April, and I did that in March too, but in April, I put out a challenge for all the X members to take one listing per week. And I guess you
yeah.
took that seriously.
Well, that is what's amazing is that I remember you saying it and you wanted everybody to say that they were in, right? And I didn't even say it because I didn't believe it,
Oh,
right? I'm like, no, I'm not even going to commit to that because I'm not.
right,
And
right.
so I started the role playing and listening to you more and doing the Monday, Wednesday, doing every day of the week, the mindset, the skills, the dominance.
Motivation. Yep.
Yeah, I decided I'm going to follow all of her instructions, right? And really
Mm-hmm.
try to do everything that you're telling us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when things really started turning around. And
So when you say just for the benefit of the viewers, right? Because there's
yeah,
so many agents watching and they're lost and they're trying
yeah,
all kinds of stuff. There's so many things that they can do. When you say
yeah.
do all of the things, I mean, tell us specifically, what did you start doing?
Okay. So what I started doing was you suggested going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and doing a lesson
Yes.
every one of
Yes.
those days.
And Tuesdays
And
and
have a
Thursdays,
different
join the live calls. Yes. So you have something
join
every
the
day of the
live
week. Yep.
call.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing that. I started transcribing, writing down, I have tons of notes everywhere, and because you have to adopt it all. It has to become your own, right? And
Right.
that's
Right.
what I was doing. I'm just literally mimicking everything you say, and it's amazing because it works. And so I'm literally just trying to do that, and I'm starting to role play more, and all of a sudden, I find myself at the end of April with 4 listings.
Okay.
And like I
Okay.
said, I wouldn't even commit. Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
important part about this is as you were learning all of this, and I know you told me yesterday you were transcribing role plays because there is one part of Sales X training that has hundreds of live role plays I've done. So you're doing all of that, but you are also making calls. That's where the listings
Yes.
came from, right? That's the important
Yes.
part. Yes. Okay, good.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
who are you calling and what time were you starting? What were exactly were you doing?
Well, I haven't been the greatest, but I started today. I started earlier today, but
Yeah.
I haven't been the greatest at getting on right away in the morning. But I've been calling expireds and for sale by owners
Wow.
primarily. And I had never called any of these things in the previous 25 years
For real?
plus.
Wow, that's
For real.
amazing.
Never. Nobody ever trained me on any of
Wow.
this. And so that's what's so exciting about it, Jackie, is that I'd never called a FISBO before and I never called an expired before or anything.
Okay.
And I used to pay for leads and they were junk leads. And it was like, this is a waste of time, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so I just love that I can listen to your programs and I can, I can listen to whatever it is I need that day, whether it's I need to listen to your role plays or like when my mind just isn't confident enough and I have to go in and listen to mindset. I have to do that a lot, and write it all down.
Tracy,
What
what would
else? And
you
then
say? Because there may be some agents listening, even though you said you had never called FISBOs and expireds before. And you know how passionate I am about it. Every video on this YouTube channel is really trying to motivate and help agents understand how powerful it is to be talking to people they know. But some people are listening to it and they're saying, yeah, but she's been in real estate for 26
yeah.
years. I'm brand
Mhm.
new. I'm not going to be able to do it. What would you say to them?
What I would say is it doesn't even matter
Mm,
what you've done before this because I literally had not done any of this. until
Mm-hmm.
last year. Then I left to go to the builder. Then I came back and I literally plugged in with everything I have in April. And this is May. I've got 5 active and some coming. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And
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 you
I
have pending sales too. Let's not forget that.
yeah,
You have
yeah.
three, right? Three
I
pending
have
sales.
I have one from the builder, and then I have two that I literally listed in April. They were, and I got them well priced.
Yes.
One expired and one FISBO, and they've already sold. So I'm gonna, oh, and that's the other cool thing is that I had what I thought was a lofty goal of 15K a month that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make.
Yes.
Okay. And so halfway through April, or I don't know when it was, maybe it was the beginning of May, I said, you know what? I'm going to up my goal. So I upped my goal to 25 grand a month. I'm like, why not? It's always good to have a stretch goal, right?
Yes, yes.
And so then these two listings sold after I did that. And I am going to make just, a couple months into this thing, I'm going to make $26,000
Look at that. Oh,
in
wow.
June.
Just a
Me too
tiny
close.
bit over the stretch goal.
I
That's so cool. That is very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so oh my gosh, I'm so
So
grateful for you.
you
I really am
honestly,
because
oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And by the way, I told her when we scheduled this, like, say whatever you want. I didn't ask for a testimonial. Obviously, she's excited about her results, but this is all unsolicited. Tracy,
yes, it
you
is. Yes,
truly
it is.
believe that a brand new agent can
Mhm.
actually follow my advice and get the same results?
Absolutely, I think they can, because a lot of it, I mean, it's it's just um you're showing us the language, you're
Mhm.
giving us the tools. And what I would recommend is just kind of cut out the rest of the world if you're
Yeah.
new and just zone in, right? And just give this everything you've got, several hours a day if you
So,
can, and immerse yourself in it. And yes, anybody can do this, you know.
so with all the choices, I'm sure, and I would imagine you joined in February and you were on vacation and you were setting up the office and you had things to do. But you know that prospecting is not necessarily easy. It's exciting once you realize, oh, I can set appointments and take listings. Like, yeah, then you're ready to go. But for an agent that has so many options, yeah, why would you
Mhm.
say this is the best option? Why would this be
Oh.
what they really should be doing?
Do you want to know why? Because prior to you, I had other coaches that I did pay, and I would talk to them like maybe once a week,
Mm-hmm.
once every other week, and it was a lot of money. And they weren't actually even giving me concrete instructions like this. They weren't giving me all the scripts that you give. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't and the amount of time that I can spend listening to you
Mm-hmm.
because of all of this material you have put together for us is
Yeah.
incredible because I can't get that from a coach in a 30-minute or a 1 hour a week
Right.
session, right? And
Right.
that's what I needed. I needed to just listen. I still do every day, every day. I have to keep listening and listening and
Be
listening.
driving the people around you crazy. It's like, shut her off, please.
I know. My poor husband's like, "Where are you going?" And you know where I'm going. I'm going to listen to Jackie,
Uh,
And I just love your enthusiasm and your conviction, and it comes through the screen to me. It really does,
Thank you. I
you
appreciate
know.
it. Well, I feel the same way about you. Great energy and so exciting. Why should an agent not go buy leads? You said you did it, but I look at it as for a brand new agent when they get online, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, do this, do that, give me money for this, pay me for that, and
Yes.
they all make it sound like it's gonna be easy. So you've
Yeah.
been there, done that, and actually. what I teach has been easy for you. You've gotten great results. I mean, we have other clients in Sales X that have gotten 4 or 5 listings within the first month they start, but this is obviously very exciting.
Mhm.
So, what does it do for you? And I don't know if you mentioned this to me yesterday, because knowing that you can pick up the phone, make a certain number of calls, set an appointment, and take a listing gives you a lot of personal power. You know, you're not at the mercy or waiting and hoping and spending money with no
Right.
results. I feel like that's a great benefit of doing this, at least it was for
Oh,
me. So, what has it
you.
done for you, like on a personal
Oh,
level, in terms of building your confidence?
I tell you, it has been literally night and day for me. And, my husband and I, he retired early, so he's out playing pickleball right now. And,
Good for him.
I'm working, but we are dreaming like crazy now about all the things we want to do. And we're actually going to buy a second home in Florida, which was never even, I mean, we had wanted to, but now it's becoming a reality.
Mhm.
Like, I'm stocking up my 401, and then when I get that to where I need it to be, which is not far away, especially if I keep going at this pace,
Right.
then we're going to be buying a place out there in no time. And that is just exciting to
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
and I drive an older Mercedes, and now it's like, wow, I could get a newer one. I love my car, but man, wouldn't it be nice? And so it really does just open up all of these avenues to things that, and not only that, working for the builder, I was making good money, but they owned me and I was there every weekend.
Mhm.
And since I've been doing this, I really have taken a lot of weekends off,
Right.
other than
Because you're
working on my
working Monday through
listings,
Friday
right?
and doing what
But
you're supposed to do. That's why you're
yeah,
taking weekends off. Yes.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm able to spend time with my family and stuff that I wasn't able to do before. And that's huge for me, which is why I got out of the builder world, you
Mhm.
know.
Tracy,
And I think you're frozen.
I imagine you've
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
you did it in April, you did it
Hmm.
in May, you're taking one listing a week, you're on track for to continue. So you already have enough confidence that you can set goals. And I think that's so important, the importance of goals. And now you're thinking, okay, that's an added motivation for you. I want to buy a home in Florida. I can get a new car and who knows what else, right? But these things get you going every single day to continue to do what you're doing because you're working towards a goal that's very important to you. That's actually really great advice for the people listening. Because if you don't have a goal that's exciting you, that's causing you to wake up in the morning and jump out of bed and like, I'm ready to go. Let's get ready. Let's get on the phone. Then, without the goal, people are not, they don't have the drive to actually do it. So outstanding.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
so excited for you. And I know one of the pendings you have, I just want to touch on this because it's important too. You said you put it on the market and it sold, well, I don't know how long, but like fairly quickly, no? It went under contract.
The first one I put it on Friday, and we had multiples by Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one I put on, I had 7 showings, and 6 of them didn't like it. And then we just got one phenomenal offer, and
They
we went
accept.
with it on the same day.
Wow.
So,
Crazy.
yeah, and that was a
Tracy,
$650,000 sale.
wow, amazing. So, what
What?
would you say to agents
Yeah.
that think like, oh, expireds are all overpriced. I don't even want to bother because they're not going to lower the price. If they were going to lower, they would have done it sooner. What would you say? Because these are just limiting beliefs, and I hear this from agents sometimes that have never called. They don't even know. It's just a story they have in their head. So, can you debunk that? Talk about, oh, they're overpriced. It's not worth it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the first one that I went on, the one that actually sold in 2 days this month, wasn't expired. And I too would get that in my head, like, oh my God, they're overpriced. And that's why they set it on the market for 6 months. Great. That's a great opportunity for me because if I do my homework and I go over there prepared,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be able to show them everything I do differently,
Yes.
right? But
Yes.
I'm also going to show them the comps and just really get them to see why their home didn't sell, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And so the combination of the two of pricing it right and then letting me do everything I do above and beyond all these other agents,
Right.
right? We're going to get it sold. And so this last one, I got them to drop it 25 grand.
Mm-hmm.
And he had even put 15K into the kitchen while it was expired.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally couldn't believe it.
So
Then the other one, they
it's
were
not
like,
true that expireds are not going to lower the price. They just need an agent that can help them understand the price and believes in what they're going to do to actually
yeah,
bring an offer. Awesome. And the other one you were going to say?
yeah. Oh, and something that you have said is one of you has to be more confident than the
Yeah,
other.
that's
And
right.
I totally believe that, right? And so I have to be more confident in what I'm telling them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they've heard it from others. Well, guess what? It's true. You are overpriced, right?
Right.
And so that confidence really helps and mindset. And then, telling them, like I said, I do a lot of extra things. I look for extra things I can do for
Right.
them, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and then yeah, I do. I make sure I do drone photos on everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I do, usually, unless they sell really fast, but I do an email flyer out to all the agents in a 7 county area.
Yes.
And then it goes with a video, and they get a copy of it in their inbox. The sellers
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Uh, and then the dialing, the circle prospecting and all of it is just such powerful, you know, stuff to show them that we are better
Right.
than 99% of the agents out there
You're
because of
not
what
throwing
we're
it in the
doing.
MLS and hoping you'll sell, which unfortunately is what most
That,
agents do. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. And that's what I love is that you give us all these nuggets to use, and then we just have to literally make them our own.
There
And
you go.
anybody can do that, you
Tell me
know.
about FISBOs
Yeah.
because you have listed at least one. I don't know how many, regardless. What is your approach with FISBOs? Because again, a lot of agents are terrified of calling FISBOs. Oh, they have so many objections. Oh, they're not, they're rude, they're mean, whatever. So
Yeah.
help the agents watching. So it's not coming from me, it's coming from you. How to
Yeah.
get these FISBO appointments?
Well, the biggest thing I think is, and you're right. I mean, they literally do say, you're about the 100th call.
Yep.
Just the one yesterday that I called after I talked to you, she was awful. She was awful. But you know what? I just tried to stay on the phone with her, which is so important. And I listened intently, just like you talk about the listening intently.
Yep.
They're frustrated, right? They're not getting the traffic, and all they're getting is a bunch of realtor phone calls, right? And I literally said the thing that you say. I say, I don't know why all these other agents are calling you, but I can tell you why I'm calling you. And it's because I know I can help you, you know. And then if sometimes I'll get into the exposure thing over the phone,
Yes.
but if not, I try to save it for the appointment. And what that means is that NAR, the National Association of Realtors, publishes a report every year, and it shows that like 2% of the homes sell for sale by owner,
Right.
and 94% are agent assisted, and that they average 18% more when they sell with an agent.
Right.
And just to show them, okay, so if I'm charging 3% and we're averaging 18%, that's huge. That's
It's a
15%
no-brainer. Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the biggest thing is just getting the appointment.
Hmm.
And then I have the NAR report. I have pages laminated in
Yes.
my book. So I get my book out and I show them because I'm a show me person.
Yes,
And I don't want to just go off of what you're saying because people don't trust realtors.
right.
I want to show them the facts.
Yes,
And when I show them that, and I just try to build that rapport and give the empathy of what they've already been through and just listen a lot. Um, that's when they seem to just say, okay, they start trusting me.
yes.
And then when they start trusting you, that's it, then they want to sign.
I
They're like,
love
where do
it.
we sign?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I know, I can't
I
believe it.
can't wait like months
Yeah.
from now to hear all the great things that you're doing. I mean, obviously, I know you can continue to do this or maybe even more, and it's so inspiring, Tracy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you have any final
Thank
words
you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Any final words of wisdom for the agents that are struggling or they are brand new and they're trying to decide which way to go? Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, my biggest recommendation would be don't even go month to month. Just buy a 1 year subscription to
I didn't
you
ask her to say
and
that.
don't buy. No, I know. And this is all me and my experience. She's not prompting me to say anything, right? This is all my experience that I just bought the 1 year because I wanted to commit to
Yeah,
something, right? And I knew that all of the information you have out there, there's no way I can get all of that in a month or two. There's no way. And not only that, I still get the, terrified to pick up the phone days. I was having one
hmm.
of those yesterday, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And we all are going to have that call reluctance,
Right.
but we just have to fight through it. And the way that I fight through it is I listen to you
Uh,
and your conviction, and you're just telling us exactly what to do so that we can get on the phone. And the best thing you've said, which I'm not always good at, is just pick up the phone and start doing it,
right.
and then it all comes.
Yep.
And it's terrifying sometimes, but that's exactly it. The minute I just pick up the phone, it's like I start saying things. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just said that, or I can't believe that came out of my mouth. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
it's such great advice because the first call is usually the hardest one. Once you do the first one, okay, I got through it, and then you keep going, and that's it. Pretty soon you get an appointment. So amazing, Tracy.
yes.
Thank you
And then it
so
was,
much. It's been such a pleasure. For anybody watching, remember you need a great agent in Minneapolis and maybe soon in Florida. You might be licensed in both states.
yeah.
Minneapolis for now. Tracy Farkas. Thank you again, Tracy, so much. If anyone has any questions or comments for Tracy and I, put them down below. We'll be happy to respond. And thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon.